How's everybody doing? Uh, so today's, I think, day 4 up in the wilderness, and I've been watching the weather really close because I'm at pretty high elevation, and so I really didn't want. I mean, it wasn't something I wanted to add to the complications. Is a thunderstorm. So my first 2 days, I rode out at base camp because of thunderstorms, and I stayed in the canvas tent. I didn't plan on making the hike up here. And then the weather looked really good until tomorrow. There's like a 40% chance of thunderstorms, and I was thinking about sitting it out through here. If you can see up back behind me, there's the peaks, and you can see the peaks back behind me over there. I don't know, maybe you can. I'm not sure. And this morning I woke up 4:30, packed my bags, and I was gonna hike up to the highest elevation. It's got the best view for some glassing. Um, Weather was like nothing. There was no chance of anything this morning. I got up to, by the time I got up there, dropped my pack, started glassing. I looked across the way, and it looked a little dark. Didn't think much of it, and I opened up the weather app eventually, took a quick look. Oddly enough, the further up I got a little bit of signal, and all of a sudden the peaks on the other side of the valley started lighting up with lightning bolts, and I thought, shit. And before that, I looked up at the weather, and it said there was going to be a slight chance of rain, and it was just going to rain, no thunderstorms. And so I built a little shelter, and I don't know, maybe I'll get a photo sometime put up. So I built this little shelter quick. I had like 15, 20 minutes, built a shelter. So I was like, well, if this passes, I'm just going to keep hunting through it. And then those peaks on the other side of the valley started lighting up with thunderbolts and lightning. And I was sitting on the top of the peak on this side. And I thought, shit. And so I grabbed my pack and started to head down. And it just started to rain, like at that moment. And so then I started to head back down to lower elevation. From everything I've read, you don't want to be on the peaks during a lightning storm. I don't know. It's just what I've read. So it took me about an hour and a half to get up to this morning. It took me about 15 minutes to run down through deadfall. So if you take a look, there's all this deadfall. I'm in a burn, and it's called the 2019 Cow Creek burn. So I'm running down from the peak to try to get down here to where my spike camp is, and try to get out of the rain, and it just pours. I didn't even have time at that point. I didn't have time to do anything besides just try to get to a lower elevation and get into my shelter. And then it starts to hail, and the lightning starts to hit around me, not like right around me, but if I'll just be honest, when you're outside in a wide open area like this and lightning starts to hit anywhere close, it feels like it's right on top of you. And the moral of the story is I do not mind being out in the wilderness. I actually enjoy it. None of the animals out here in Colorado bother me. Black bears don't bother me. I think that's just a matter of like good camp hygiene, and being prepared if there is some kind of incident. But I'm not too worried about black bears. But lightning scares the shit out of me. It's the one thing that I do not like being out in the open or at high elevations at the same time during lightning. So that's my story from today. It's, again, the weather didn't call for any rain. It was supposed to be really nice, but here we are. I just went through a hail and lightning storm at about 10,200 feet on the peak up here. It was, yeah, I would have definitely rather ran into a black bear. Maybe not a grizzly. I don't know. Maybe a grizzly over a lightning bolt. I don't know. But, all right, y'all have a good day.